Hey guys, and welcome to a new what if here. I caught myself that I haven't caught myself. And yes, I know I did say that I wasn't going to do any more new what ifs until the 3 I'm currently doing had finished, or till you guys wanted and say hey, could you do another one instead of this one? It's kind of getting boring, or more so I saw you guys weren't as interested in that. So, and also I just felt I just wanted to do this a lot more, and plus it somewhat just came to me. And yeah, though think possibly I may have done a somewhat cross-dressing one, though this is going to have more of a focus on Naruto cross-dressing and what it could possibly leave, out. Yeah. Anyway, so obviously, the title, the thumbnail says, this is what if Naruto blanks cross-dressing part 1. And yeah, blanks cross-dressing, does cross-dressing. I couldn't really come up with a somewhat was cross-dressing, likes cross-dressing, liked cross-dressing, did cross-dressing, I don't know, or yeah, did cross-dress. There's many ways I could have worded this, but this one I don't know, made slightly more sense to me, because anyway, so let's get into this. And also I'm going to say this also at the end, but if you guys do want this to become a series, tell me in the comments down below. More so tell me if you want a part 2, and then I'll probably interchange this with what if Naruto was Hokage's reincarnation. So it'd be next week it would be what if Naruto was Hokage's reincarnation. Then the week after that would be this one, and then after that would be that one. So it'd go back and forth. So this one would every other week. So yeah, just so you guys know. Anyway, that's if you guys want this to become a series. But anyway, as I said, let's get into this. So Naruto, we've seen Naruto as currently Naruto was 4 years old. So 4 years after the Nine Tails attacked Konoha, all of that would somewhat go the same. Though currently Naruto was somewhat looking for a just clothing store to either get a new top or get his a top he very much liked repaired, or get a top somewhat similar to it. Though all the clothing stores he's been to, all the stores that he's seen that sold clothing, have just all kicked him out and said that we don't serve monsters or demons and whatever. So he's obviously somewhat sad, depressed, and these stories coming up to he knew was the last or at least the last store he knew in Konoha that sold or did anything related to clothes. He'd walk in and would somewhat just cross his fingers behind his back, hoping that this person wasn't mean, and that as the person would just somewhat hear the bell ring, would somewhat look down and would see what everyone called the demon. But yes, this person knew who, or at least knew the face, who Naruto was. Who didn't? And somewhat I can go, how may I help you? How may I help you Naruto would somewhat look up at here, and there was nothing that indicated that he'd somewhat picked up from everyone else that he was, well, or at least Naruto felt welcome. So Naruto go, Naruto, Uzumaki, the person that just none and go, well then, Naruto, how may I help you? Are you here to buy a top, or buy any clothes, or do you need anything like repaired or anything like that? Naruto would somewhat brighten up and go, yeah, well, possibly either somewhat new, or a new either top or repaired, as he'd pull out a top. It was the white top with the Uzumaki symbol on. He didn't know really what the symbol meant and why he felt so attached to it, but he liked it. And when it ripped just a couple of hours ago, he was somewhat sad, and he wanted it either repaired or like another top, somewhat like it with the exact same symbol on it. She'd pull out the top and give it to the person at the desk, as he'd go, here am I, somewhat, if possible, either like a new one or repaired. The person would just somewhat go, well, okay, and somewhat and look at it and go, so it's, as the person would then turn around and go, it's ripped. So I'm gonna have to somewhat get your proportions. What's that? The person would then explain, your proportions, like say your height, your your just height, and some other measurements, say your chest, yeah, how big your chest is and that, so I can get a top that fits you, that isn't too baggy, though. Somewhat can I ask, was if you was wearing this top, was it somewhat either baggy or that? I'd go, it was fine, in the how long it was, but it was just a bit big on me. The length was right, but it just felt a bit too loose on me. The person just nod. I should go, so, and goes, can you turn around so I can see, so I can look at so kind of how's the top you're currently wearing? This it fits just fine, actually. All my other tops are more somewhat give me the same feeling as that one, a bit too loose, but yeah, it's I should go, what about the trousers? Same thing. Yep, these are the only ones that somewhat fit actually nicely and don't feel too loose or that. The banger, can you turn around so I can see the tag? Naruto just nod and should look at it. See the person behind the desk would walk around and would look at it and go, and go, are you a boy? Is Naruto then go, what's that? Should then go, you don't know what a boy is? Do you know what a girl is? I'd go, nope, don't know what that is. As person would just sigh and go, well, what do you have, a thing that produces, from in between your legs, where so like your pee comes out of, or is it like flat with a, say, groove in it? I do go, it has some coming out of it. I think Gigi called it a penis. Yes. That means that you're a boy. So what's the groove then? What would that mean if I had that? If you had a somewhat groove, or a slit, as some other people would call it, would mean that you're a girl. So why did you ask me that? The top here that you say would like repaired is made for a boy, which you are. And though the currently top and trousers that you're wearing are currently made, say, or at least the top is just an ordinary, say, like 4-year-old girl's top, and the trousers, besides from being made for, like, to be a high waist on a girl, but yeah, other than that, yeah. Do you know who got you these as well? Yeah, it's Naruto, so you Naruto, so I just guess, everyone seemingly knew who he was, so yeah. The person who got me my top and trousers was an Anbu. It was a dolphin. It's like, okay, so do, say, the people, the Anbu who look after you, or at least maybe like prepare your, say, like breakfast, lunch, dinner, do they do that often? Yeah, it's like somewhat occasionally, like maybe, like, say, for my birthday, they will get me, say, like one of them once a year will get me new clothes, and I'm a different Anbu person every year. Person would just nod and go, so this dolphin was a girl, right? They would just somewhat nod, go, I see. So who got you then this top that you want repaired? Gigi. And who is this Gigi, may I ask? He's said he was the lead of this village. Person would just blink and we just go, okay, so we call the lead of the village the Hokage, but at least from now on I know who you mean. Though if anyone asks you, Naruto, who, say, this GG of yours is, just tell them it's the Hokage. And if they try and convince you to call him by obviously try and say, oh no, it's the Hokage, then if he's fine with you calling him GG, then you call him that. And I would just somewhat nod and go, well, that's what he told me to call him. Should just go, well, okay then. That's, fine by me. So just nod and go, so, can I ask why there are then different, like, say, clothes, like, made for boys and girls? Well, at least for, say, someone for your age, it's not really that, say, somewhat, say, important, like, as, say, children, or at least boys and girls, so at least boys and girls around about until they're around, say, maybe like, say, 8, 10, 11 years old, is generally somewhat the same height. Well, as I said, like somewhat. There are going to be taller girls and taller boys, shorter girls, shorter boys. But yeah, that's somewhat growth are the same. Like, can be the same height, but the, say, body type will be different. What's the body? What does that mean? Well, body type means, say, well, it's like they all kind of fall under two, say, types, which are, say, you have a more, say, your look, say, more masculine or more feminine. Feminine is, say, like girl, like female, and masculine is male. No, dude, somewhat just nodded. Didn't know what it meant, but he was listening. Should go, and well, it pretty much means, say, masculine would say mean that, like, say, like any, say, muscle, say, you'd grow is like on show. You're like, say, more bulky, more somewhat, say, like more, say, square, like, you know, not, say, and feminine is, say, like, say, curvy. And also, well, obviously a gal, I am a gal, as I'm curved. Well, yeah, I just not to go. Oh, so do all girls have big chests? As in somewhat Jack and go, no. No. All girls are somewhat like boys up until they're around 11 or 12 years old, when their chest, or what us girls call it, breasts, would start developing. It's not good. Okay. And well, she'd go, and well, yeah. So obviously, girls are more, say, curvy, and as such, like, obviously they somewhat have, though, as I said, there's obviously body type, so those are more curvy. So a male could have, like, you definitely have a more, say, feminine body shape, or a more, in other words, say you look more like a gal than you do an actual boy. Is that bad? No, actually. Well, are you somewhat in the academy? Not. Yes, I'm training to become a ninja, and once I become a ninja, I will one day become the Hokage. Then so that Judy can finally like just sit back and relax, and as somewhat just stop and go, so your goal is to become the Hokage? Yes. Oh yes, that is my goal, to one day become the Hokage. Someone just nod. Go, well then. Anyway, so I lost my train of thought. Oops. Yeah. Just go. Well then. Yeah. Well. I've lost my train of thought. Anyway. So yeah. Well, because you're in the coming trend to become a ninja, having a more, say, feminine actual body can be a huge benefit to ninjas, not so much for, say, civilians or normal people, say, like me, who aren't really, well, maybe not exactly like me, but like other, say, people, you see, like, picking up their children, that they're more likely to be civilians, those who don't know, like, what really a ninja is. I would somewhat just nod. Should continue and go, and well, it's somewhat good because say you could say somewhat, you could actually confuse your say enemy. And what I mean by confuse is that they will underestimate you, and you know, like most people, and especially in say like the account would probably say, oh, you'd never want to be underestimated by your enemy. But that's actually a good thing. The more underestimated your enemy, well, if you underestimate your enemy, that's very bad. But if your enemy underestimates you, that's good. In the ninja world, you always want to be underestimated, and obviously good, because you can then take them down more easily, because they're thinking, you know, you're a lot weaker than what you actually are. And having a feminine body, a more, you know, if you say look more like a girl, would mean that say your possible enemies in the future will say more underestimate you a greater deal. Oh, so it's a good thing? Yes. Well, yeah. It's neither good nor bad to have one or the other, but having a more feminine body as a male does provide more benefits than defects. So I guess the one kind of big one is getting clothes. Though this dolphin girl, Armbu girl, clearly somewhat knew you had a more feminine body, and so obviously your top and trousers are made, as I said, for a girl. And yeah. Though also obviously there's underlying that though, I'm pretty sure. Yeah. Anyway, somewhat slightly continue to explain a bit more, and that there are Naruto. So, is it somewhat normal for someone like a boy to wear girls' clothing? Well, it's not normal, but you know, like I could say somewhat care less. You know, not so much none should go anyway. Like if you say like it, if you're happy and comfortable in the clothing you wear, you know, why should then fine, wear it. You know, like you shouldn't care about what say someone else thinks about you. You don't really care about your own opinion on how the clothing makes you feel. If it makes you feel happy, then wear it. If it doesn't, don't wear it. I would just nod and it goes well. So then would you like it say like this was more say baggy, so male, or would you like it say how it's somewhat meant to fit you, like that top is I'd like it I'd like it to actually fit me, but I'd still like it how that somewhat is. So you'd want the design, so you'd want the white and red spiral, white top, red spiral. Yes, that's fine. I can do that. But the top itself, you want to actually fit you like the one you're currently wearing, right? Yes. Okay. I think I've actually got a white top. And it should not head to should head out to the and go up and follow me. If you somewhat ever need obviously any clothing, you can come and speak to me, or you can somewhat look around. The boys section is over here. This is the girl section. They would somewhat just nod and should somewhat say go in this and would then pick out like a top for your girl, white, just plain white top, and we'd then go and show Naruto to where the fitting rooms are, or the dressing room, fitting rooms, whatever you like to call them. So can you pull that top off and put this one on? Hope it doesn't. I know it doesn't have a sparrow on it. I'll put that on afterwards. So I just want to make sure this actually fits you first. Okay. And also, this is, say, a changing room. This is where you'd go to see if a top or trousers or underwear, say, fits. Make sure it's comfortable before buying. Okay. Yes. Okay. Now, going with the top, he'd take off his top he's currently wearing and would put on that one, and well, he'd open them and should go. So, well, how does it feel? Does it feel too loose, too tight, or just right? Just right. Shouldn't I? Well, okay, take it off and give it to me, and I'll put the spiral on it. After it somewhat just nod, he'd close the curtains again, take off the top, put on his top he was wearing just a couple of seconds ago, and we'd then come out and give the lady just the plain white top, and she'd then head back after following, and we'd then somewhat after putting the top on, after us, the spiral on which, because the spiral on the other top was sewn on, she just decided to cut the spiral out and somewhat sew it on to the top, instead of either like say having to somewhat like sew it in individually, because that would obviously take a lot longer. So she'd quickly cut it out, very nicely, and then sew it onto the top, and hand it over to Naruto and go, how much is that? She'd go, it's free. You sure? It's like, yeah, I'm sure you don't have to worry though. I'd say, you should really, say, go to the library. Like, that will, say, explain a lot more things that you don't know. And I'd go, I've tried. Oh? No, what do you mean you've tried going to the library? Well, I was kicked out. They said a monster like me isn't meant to, it's not allowed in the library. But did the Hokage, he said I should also go, and that it'd be a great place to learn stuff, and to learn how to become a better ninja. But someone just go, well then, have you told him that this happened? No, this has happened? No. Why? I'm just a bit scared. Well, why don't I go with you? You sure? But what? I could care less if they think I'm a monster or a monster lover, or whatever. They just won't be able to buy any tops from me, any clothes or shoes from me. I could, yeah. So, come on, let's go. I'll close down the shop. You sure? Yeah. It's somewhat a slow day anyway, so it doesn't matter. I do it somewhat go, okay, and so like, Hey, Naruto, yes? So if you say, say your top in charge is, say, dressing in, say, female clothes, how about, say, after, say, we've gone to the Hokage, say, when we, say, come back here, how about, say, would you like trying some, different, clothes? And say, get some other clothes? I don't, just somewhat okay, I would, somewhat like that. Because, well, all the clothes Naruto did own were somewhat a bit too baggy on him. Because the other Anbu members, they couldn't understand why, if they got a size, an age / size smaller, it'd be too short. If they, though Dolphin seemingly was the only one that knew exactly, what fit him. Well, because she's the only one that somewhat thought, well, it kind of, or at least clicked to her, they my much stronger and, a much more stronger feminine body. Yeah, of course the others knew Naruto had a somewhat feminine body, but didn't really think that would play that much of a deal in getting clothes for him. But it did, and considering the last one that bought Naruto clothes was somewhat, well, obviously as I said, the distance was somewhat fine, well, maybe a little bit longer, but it was just too baggy on him, though it was his age, and any clothes that was, say, 2 year, for a 2-year-old was too short for him. So so it somewhat just went for age 4 in female, and it was obviously Naruto not really being a 4-year-old was, well, no, Naruto was, as he just turned 4, but they were of course a bit slightly big, but they were a lot more comfortable and actually fitted him a lot better than any of the other clothes he'd gotten from the army so far, which was only one of army, as they'd somewhat came up with the idea when he turned 3, when he was given the apartment. They'd somewhat came up with, instead of just buying clothes whenever Naruto would need them, how about they'd get him some clothes when he turned, on his birthday and maybe Christmas. Well, or they could also get him clothes or whatever, for Christmas, as Christmas is Christmas. But for his birthday, one of them would get him clothes and another would get him something else and something else. Then somewhat was all fine, as he got, obviously, because he just started the academy 2-3 months ago, and they'd somewhat decided he should somewhat and given him a kunai kit and some other and I think another gave him a book on just somewhat on the stuff that gaining need to know. And though the one thing they did know was that was was very good at getting away from them, though they weren't all that surprised, considering Kushner was well, at least Kuzno was also one was also very much good at losing. Like the arm boot guard that was slated to have a watcher, she was also very good at losing hers. So yeah, it wasn't that surprising Naruto had gotten that from her. Though the one thing they were somewhat hoping that Naruto wouldn't get was her prank, the like feeling of one, well, the pranks. So, but also they somewhat knew that, or at least for Naruto, maybe actually pranking would be, you know, like an outlet for him. So instead of just somewhat bottling up all the anger, he could prank the people instead. So it would somewhat saw the anger would still slowly build up over time, but it would be a lot better than just bottling up all the anger and, you know, say all of a sudden then one day snapping and wiping out, say, the entire of Konoha. Yeah. Or just letting loose the Nine Tails or whatever, which was very bad. So yeah. Anyway, after the store clerk had closed up her shop, and Naruto had set off to the Hokage Tower, and a couple minutes later they'd arrive as Hiruzen would somewhat blink go, you know, like, what is saying Naruto, what is Naruto said done now, as it's like they should wave, like, Hiruzen off and go, no, this little one here has done nothing, though it's there's just some, say, things I need to talk to you about that involve Naruto. As patient would go, okay, should go, like, Naruto, why don't you sit, like, over there on the, like, on the sofa over there. Naruto would go, okay, GG, and would run over and sit on the sofa. As Hiruzen would then obviously offer her a seat, as she'd sit down with Hiruzen and go, so what is the thing or things concern you about Naruto? Well, for one, he's poorly educated. What do you mean poorly educated? Well, I can somewhat understand why he, say, wouldn't know what the difference between, say, the two types of, or at least the main, so, like, say, two rough categories of, so, like, body type, feminine and masculine. I can understand why he may not know that, but I'm wondering why on earth didn't he know that the difference between a boy and a girl? He didn't even know he was a boy. You're serious, right? Yeah, ask him yourself. I had to explain it to him. Hey, Naruto, yes, GG, what is it? Before meeting, this, lady here, did you know what the difference between a boy and a girl was? No, GG, I didn't even know I was a boy or a girl. Just someone go, okay, and would go, I somewhat need to go to, I'd need to speak to the school about that, the academy. Not anything else. Well, that and the fact that he was and had somewhat, so asked him if, like, you know, because he was somewhat lacking in knowledge, so I, you know, told him to, say, go to the, you know, the library, which he told me you'd also had said. Yes, I did. And, well, he'd come back and he'd told me, not come back, he'd almost immediately told me that he'd been kicked out. What? Naruto, is that? Yes, it's true, Gigi. I was somewhat a bit scared to tell you. Here's me just somewhat go, well, you don't have to be scared to tell me anything, Naruto. Okay. Okay, Gigi. He was kicked out. Well, yes, apparently according to Naruto, it went somewhat like this. I should say what Naruto had told her, and Hizuna just somewhat said, could you go over to Naruto? I'll place you to under Genjutsu. I'll get them in here though fastly. Should somewhat go over to Naruto, and Hizuna would place the room under Genjutsu. In other words, anyone that would walk in would only see Hiruzen. They wouldn't see Naruto or the store lady. Heck, they wouldn't even see the sofa. And Hiruzen would go, Hanbu. He wasn't exactly happy. They'd all four eyes. He'd go, did you? No, Hokage-sama. Actually, they haven't even been on the library rotation for Anbu guard duty. You haven't, but I know all Anbu should at least all Anbu, should roughly have had maybe two, at least, been, once on guard in the library, but we haven't, or I haven't personally, Hokage-sama. But, there's only generally, one to two, there's only two groups of Anbu that actually do the library. Only two, yes. Two groups of four people each in each group. Here's a just somewhat go, well, bring them to me. And the store clerk, and the librarian. Hi, they would say. And a couple of seconds later, 8 Anbu would be standing in front of him as he'd go, so are you two the two groups that protect the library? Hi. Can you explain to me why no other Anbu besides from your two groups have been in rotation? You see, why? There's who's could think possibly because of they hated, say Naruto and that such. He would just look at them until you tell me why. You all are demoted to Genin. You all will be doing D ranks until I see fit. Got it? Hi. They'd say and leave somewhat depressed. As Huzum would say, well, the librarian would then somewhat knock and enter and librarian would go, Hokage-sama, you wish to speak to me? Yes. Why? Why have I been told that you've kicked Naruto out from the library? You do know that the library is owned by me, the Hokage. The current Hokage, which happens to be me. And so, why did you kick him out? As to my knowledge, it's open to anyone, any citizen of Konoha, be that ninja or civilian. And Naruto is currently a civilian in the academy, which should very much have access to not just the library but also the somewhat should have access to what I've given them permission for, the gaming section of the library. Why would you give a don't you dare call me a demon. Got it, you're fired. What, but no, but you are fired. He is simply just like me, just like you, a human being. If you cannot see that, then you're not fit to run the library. Got it? And if I dare hear you, if you're in any place that is, if you work in any place that is owned by the Hokage, that let both civilian and ninja in, and you block him, you will be executed for treason. Got it? Hi. Now leave my sight. As the person would somewhat run out and just burst straight out the doors. Who's going to just somewhat sigh as you just think, nah, I need the new librarian. Anbu, hi. Find 4 replacements for my guard. You 4 are to immediately go to the library once you've found 4 replacements for my guard. Got it? Hi, they would say, and immediately leave to find 4 replacement Anbu. As he'd call in his assistant. As just going, hi, Hokage-sama, you wish to speak to me? Yes, can you find someone who is somewhat like you? What do you mean like me? Your views on Naruto are the same as yours. Why? May I ask? Well, the librarian have just fired her. Yes. You can guess why, can't you? Hi, Hokage-sama. As who's like, oh right, release. As the genjutsu that I placed on the room would now dispel as to go, oh well, hey there Naruto, is not hey Sarah. Well, nice to see you, Naruto. Naruto somewhat just nodding. The Hilsen's secretary would then leave as he's gonna go, now Naruto, now that I should, just as he's about to speak to Naruto, 8 Anbu members would enter his room. The 4 that his 4 previous guard and the now 4 replacement guard. So as the 4 replacement guard go, Hokage-sama, we've come here to replace. We are here as ordered from your previous guard to come here to to guard you. Ism would nod as they would then vanish into their positions as Ism go, and just before you leave for the library, can one of you, for at least now until the new librarian comes, can one of you just man the front? Hi, they would say, and his 4 previous army guard would leave. As Hirschman would look at him and go, now Naruto, you should now be able to enter the library, though if anyone, if anything ever happens, just come to me. or the shop owner, and obviously, I'll find out, and we'll figure out a way. We'll fix the issue. I do just go okay, GG. Is there anything else? Don't say no. So go, well, okay, as there's no other issue, you may leave. Did someone nod and leave? As she'd look at them and go, so I'm trying some different clothes. I don't know, and go, what clothes would I try on? She'd think for me and go, anything you like. Though, are they the only shoes you have? I don't go, yeah, what about it? Well, you should have, at least, say, 2 different pairs of shoes. Say, one for school, and then another, say, to walk about kind of hurrying, because you don't be wearing, say, saying, you want to have at least, say, some shoes, say, so, maybe, say, one for jogging, say, if you say, maybe, so, say, one for, PE physical, so, running around, and that, and then have, another set for, obviously, say, obviously, school, and then another for, maybe exploring, and maybe, another for, maybe, say, going off into, the forest or that. And then another pair for maybe, say, for any, just for, say, maybe looking nice, or something else, I don't know. Just letting that go. Do I need so many shoes? Well, no, not really. You really only need 2 pairs. One for school, well, really 3 pairs. One for school, one for, say, PE when you're either in school or afterwards. And one for just walking around, say, exploring that. So really 2, but when you're in the academy, 3 sets, 3 different, say, 3 pairs of shoes are recommended, but you can generally get away with only having 2. Okay, but why? I'm guessing, why do you have so many shoes? It's, I guess, more of just a girls thing. A lot of us girls have a lot of shoes. Thought you just having just wide variation. It's nice to have just say so that maybe one day you may not say want to wear that, say, time soon you may want to wear another shoe. So it's nice to have, say, variation, so it, say, doesn't get boring. Nice, say, to mix up what you wear occasionally. Right, see. Oh, I do want to try on new shoes as well. I don't somewhat just nod as, so just somewhat rub his hand. Go, it's alright though. Do you ever, say, somewhat plan to either, say, smooth out your hair, or have you ever tried brushing your hair? No, just not. Yeah, anytime I do, it always just comes back spiky. Well, I'm assuming you've tried others. Well, I'm assuming you've tried, stores and that. Yeah, they generally all just kick me out. So, the Anbu that protect you or look after you will probably also buy you food and prepare it, right? Yeah. Oh, and one of Naruto's other Anbu bought him a cookbook, so now's a good start learning how to cook. Yeah. Anyway, back. Yeah. Just finger. Well then. Well, I guess we can somewhat just have, say, well, well, I'm assuming if you'd say ask them, and if you ask them, they will get you, say, the stuff you ask for, though. You'd have to obviously give them your money. They're not going to buy it from nothing. But it's just somewhat odd, though. You'd somewhat be wondering then, how come they've never asked for money before, like when buying like any food or clothing or that. Yeah. Be like, obviously somewhat gardening from a distance, as they'd somewhat think, well, they'd somewhat like do hand signs to one another, and I'd pretty much just be saying in hand, like, I'm using the hand signs. Was that since that we'll be having to talk to Naruto and why we've never really asked for, obviously, like, his money to get the food or that. Yeah, the others just somewhat nodded, and it's like they all somewhat had the same idea. Yeah. And yeah, once Naruto got back, once they'd gotten back to the shop, it pretty much just remained closed. She just didn't care. She could, like her other customers, could go somewhere else today. She's going to play dress up with Naruto. And yeah, though at first it's more say something like some other, say, tops and that, though, and eventually she'd ask Naruto if he'd wanted to try maybe like a dress or even a skirt, and Naruto asked what they were, and she'd just shown Naruto what they were, and Naruto just somewhat shrugged, and Naruto just tried it on, and yeah, though at the end of the day Naruto did come out of the store with some new clothes and obviously and some shoes. Yeah, Naruto, well, she somewhat just, oh no, it's okay, you don't have to, pay anything. Naruto just somewhat crushed her into, well, Naruto managed to give her some money, though not the actual real amount of what they would have costed. And she'd also went to a store and got Naruto some what would it be, like hair gel to sun his hair, so Naruto could flatten his hair up until it either got long enough to it would just where from the weight of the hair itself would bring it down flat. And also she'd said, obviously told Naruto that eventually, obviously, like using the hair gel, but like he wouldn't have to say use the hair gel eventually, as over time it would say like be like training his hair. And she'd said because she'd never really brushed your hair, it probably just remained like just trained itself into just staying spiky, and as such, like say using the hair gel to like flatten down your hair, over time it will train itself into kind of that position where it will just naturally stay all flat. And that Naruto had just some I would say okay. And yeah, and this is where I'm going to end it here, guys. So as I said in the beginning, if you want this to become a series, tell me in the comments down below if you want to see part 2, then you'd have to wait a week until then. So yeah, guys, so yeah, if you have enjoyed this and you want part 2, tell me in the comments down below. And as I said not a second ago, you'd have to wait until not next week. Next week is the 3rd. It will have to be part 2 would air the 10th. So yes, anyway guys, stay safe and have a good day or night, depending on when you're watching this, and good bye.